In breaking news, a drone is flying over the presidential palace in Poland. This comes during the ongoing Russian drone crisis. Well, now a suspicious drone started flying, according to reports from the Prime Minister himself. Well, Channel 2 reports the following. The State Protection Service recently neutralized a drone that was operating over government buildings from Parkov Street and the Belwinder Palace. 2 Belarusian citizens were reportedly detained at that time. The police are investigating the circumstances of the incident. At the same time, the United Kingdom has deployed its Typhoon jets for defense missions over Poland. 3 Rafale jets from France have already joined today, and now the Typhoons from the United Kingdom as well. Germany and other countries are doing the same. The announcement from the United Kingdom specified that the Royal Air Force fighter jets have started, or rather will start, their missions in the coming days. Prime Minister Keir Starmer was emphatic. He says Russia's reckless actions directly threaten European security and violate international law. This decision comes after Russian drones violated the airspace in Romania and in Poland. This has caused growing alarm in European capitals. He says the behavior. According to Zelensky himself, a Russian drone operated for almost 50 minutes in NATO airspace in Romania, traveling kilometers inside Romanian territory. The Russian was right there. The Romanian Minister of Defense deployed 2 F-16s to intercept the threat, while Poland reported that it has shot down 19 drones in recent days. We've already discussed that extensively. Just today I was telling you about these Rafale jets, these jets that are on a mission called Sentinel. These are French planes, entirely French-made, which, by the way, India has now requested. You see, India buys military planes from different countries. It's bought from the United States, from Russia, and also from France. The last time there was a conflict with Pakistan a few months ago, they used the Rafale jets, right? It seems they really like these French jets. And now India has ordered more than 100 of these jets. 100. It's impressive. Well, the order is so big that they're analyzing whether they'll be able to fulfill it or not. This order will be ready by 2035. So India pays for the planes now, but won't get them until 2035. Listen to this. This is part of what's being seen in Poland. These are NATO troops that already have permission to be stationed on Polish territory. Karol Kowalski had signed the resolution to allow this movement. The president's order is related to the NATO operation called Eastern Guard, which began in response to Russian drone attacks against Poland. NATO troops have already begun to deploy in Poland. Well, in the end, history has made it clear, hasn't it? At other times, Poland was overconfident, and that overconfidence led to them being invaded. This time, they prefer to be ready, they prefer to be well prepared and have their alliances in place, so to speak. So that if a problem or an invasion happens, they are prepared to respond decisively in a strong way. So for now, Poland is not going to take action. On the contrary, it's going to operate this way and prepare its defenses. And in any case, to be ready for anything. There's an idea that's been circulating. It's the idea of taking control of all of Ukraine's airspace, right? And that it's starting to make sense again. And this is Poland. Here's Poland. Over here is Eastern Poland on this side. More in this part is Romania, right? So Poland, Romania, which are NATO countries, they'd be happy, and NATO would as well. To control all of Ukraine's airspace with Ukraine's permission, obviously. This proposal originally came from Ukraine some time ago, but now they're raising it again. So, it would mean taking over and controlling all the airspace, installing new systems, and saying NATO wouldn't attack Russian troops. But anything that's flying doesn't have permission. I mean, Ukraine and NATO closed the airspace. It's forbidden to fly. It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody can fly. It's simple. If there's a war, it'll be on the ground, not in the air. No drones, planes, or helicopters. Yes, for a while to calm the war down. So anything flying would be shot down. Thank you for the support. There it is. Well, the thing is that if suddenly a missile comes in or a drone comes in from Russia to Ukraine, it would be shot down, shot down, shot down, shot down. Russia would have no way to attack Ukraine. That's an idea they have. Well, without being invasive or without going to attack Russian troops directly. But it would prevent future Russian advances. And the continuous attacks, it would neutralize the attacks. That's good. The spokesperson for Russia, this Peskov, has already reacted to this idea, and Peskov says that if they do that, for them it will be a declaration of war. But well, they've said that about everything. Anything that NATO does, whether it's sending missiles, helping with ammunition, whatever it is, for everything. The answer is always, oh, that's a declaration of war. But really, it's not a declaration of war. I mean, because you're not invading or attacking the other country, so it's not a declaration of war. Even though they, well, are looking for. To discourage NATO so that this happens, they want to persuade NATO that way by projecting, well, a sense of being very threatening, right? And saying, well, if you do this, then this will happen, right? Something like that. Well, let's see what happens. But in the meantime, the fact that a drone is flying near the presidential palace, near the government offices of Poland, at this moment, that there are 2 detained suspects. Alright, the Russians, it would show that, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a misunderstanding, which could also be the case, right? That it was a misunderstanding in this last case. It would be quite a coincidence if 2 Russians were flying a drone exactly over the government offices of Poland, right? Would it be? I mean, this sounds like any kind of espionage. Or that they were thinking of attacking some important government official, right? Imagine that we're talking. I mean, that it slipped past them, that it made it all the way to the very capital of Poland, and that they were flying a drone there. I think it's something super, super, super concerning. Who knows what they were planning, but obviously, I think this will have consequences, including them continuing to heavily arm themselves. Poland is thinking that, well, they're already operating against Poland, clearly, right? And against Romania? But anyway, we'll keep reporting. Let's see what else happens during the day, and I'll see you later in the live stream.